Hello, I'm Daniel, and today I want to talk to you about Kentucky Fried Persistence. So, the main idea of the talk is about persistence, and one definition of persistence is this: the fact of continuing in an opinion or course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Now, in my 7-7 series, I spoke on opposition and how it is key to being persistent and overall persevering in a challenge. Now, an example of persistence from my own account is how over the past few months I've been doing these evangelism videos, and multiple sources, so no one source but from different areas, have told me I should stop doing the videos, or they've been telling me I should create a separate Facebook account, because that's where I share it to mainly, and keep it away from my personal account. Well, or set up a separate page. Well, the fact is, my Christian life, which involves these videos, include doing that. Include sharing Christian stuff. So that's one thing. Now, to give you some biblical examples of persistence, I'm going to name them off and tell you a quick basis of what the story is and so on. So Genesis 32, which is Jacob wrestles with God, and this is literally how it is. It's where Jacob won't stop trying to wrestle God, who is wrestling the pre-incarnate form of Jesus, until God blesses him, until the pre-incarnate form of Jesus blesses him, even to a point where this is proper wrestling. And at one point, as we know, Jacob's hip was dislocated, and he still carried on wanting to be blessed. In 2 Kings 2, the prophet Elijah, the story is Elijah taken up to heaven. Now, the prophet Elijah, he kept telling his pupil, his student, Elisha, multiple times to wait in this place, to wait in this place. And each time, Elisha kept saying how he wouldn't stop, he would continue on. And eventually, when asked why, Elisha told him that he wouldn't stop until he got a double blessing from Elijah. Now, in John 5, the healing at the pool. This is the story of an invalid man, someone who couldn't get to the pool in time, because the idea was that this pool, when the water swirled, it had healing properties. And it didn't matter how many times he tried, over the course of 38 years, this man couldn't get to the pool in time because someone else would get there first, or would have help getting there first. And lastly, in Luke 19, Zachariah the tax collector. Now, Zacchaeus the tax collector, he was a Jewish tax collector, and he was the chief tax collector, collecting taxes for Rome. And given that he was the chief tax collector for Rome, collecting money against his own people, his life was in constant danger. Like, if he went out in public, he would be at risk of being murdered. And against this risk of his life, he still wanted to see Jesus, in which Jesus later on requested to stay at his house that day. Now, a modern example, and this is why it's called Kentucky Fried Persistence, is this: KFC. We all love it. It's one of my favourite fast food places when I sometimes go there. And who's the head of KFC? Or who's the face of KFC? Colonel Harlan Sanders himself. Now, to recap, Colonel Harlan Sanders, he did a series of odd jobs throughout his life, never making much money for himself, enough to live on. And then he came up with this fried chicken idea. And he travelled to 1,009 places trying to get various different restaurants and people to buy into his fried chicken idea. And he was rejected 1,009 times because no one wanted his idea. No one saw it as profitable. It was only on the 1,010th time someone said yes to him. And by the time he'd franchised KFC, that was at the age of 75. And around 2 years later, when he was the age of 77, he became a born-again Christian. You know, he was approached by a pastor. When asked by a pastor, does he want to be born again, he said he did, but he didn't know if God could stop him from cussing, aka swearing. And this pastor prayed for him, and he came back a few weeks later and told the pastor he hadn't cussed or sworn once. Now, I don't know about you, I don't know about Colonel Sanders himself, because I can't find any evidence for it, but if I had a good idea, so I went to loads of loads of businesses trying to get an investor to invest in, I don't know if I could go for 1,000 times. I don't even know if I could go for maybe 200 times, or even that. Now, and I like to think, during his over 1,000 restaurant journey over the course of probably some time, that Colonel Sanders maybe at one point, you know, got said to God, you know, to help him. Maybe not, I don't know. But when he became a Christian at the age of 77, he then spent the next 13 years of his life, because he died at the age of 90, giving the most of his wealth away. Because, as he said, what's the point of being the richest man in the graveyard? And then a few other things. But yeah, so that's what I want to talk to you today about. And I just got to say, I love fried chicken, to a point where I will even have, if you'll hold on for a sec, a nice dab of ice cream. Oops. I said a nice dollop of ice cream on the fried chicken. So, thank you and God bless.